So today is English class since it's for everyone. So does anyone have a question? Hello, hi. Welcome. I hope everyone had a great week. Hello, Ray, 你好 ，Ray 的宝宝，你好。
张老师好。
好，你好。Okay, so we're going to start with, I'm going to just turn off the music. Let's have the music off. So we're going to start with your heels underneath of your hips. Just relax your hands onto your laps. Take a few minutes here to settle your mind. Noticing your shoulders are slowly dropping down toward the floor. Relax your eye muscles. We can be on electronics lots of times during the day. Try to relax your eye muscles here. Two more deep breaths. Finding your breath. Noticing your inhalation and exhalation. And slowly, let's lift up the hips. I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to tuck the toes under. I'm going to come to a toe squat. So we're going to have the hips coming back to the heels. And from here, I'm going to use the right hand to grab onto your left hand. And I'm going to push that left hand toward the left side of the hips. And just give yourself a shoulder stretch here. So we're going to do one side at a time. Feel that nice shoulder stretch on the left side. Longer neckline here. One more deep breath here. And slowly gonna relax the toes. So tap the toes, relax. And tuck the toes again. Have the hips onto your heels. Gonna use the left hand to grab onto the right wrist and push that right wrist toward the right side of the hip. And stretch on the opposite side. I'm just gonna check if anyone needs help. So make sure longer neck here. So one more deep breath. And slowly centering yourself and untap your toes. Lean forward, tap. Relax the toes. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to tuck the toes again. So have the toes tucked. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, have your toes tucked. Let's lean the hips back out to the heels. And from here, we're going to interlace your hands and lift the hands up. Beautiful. Now going to stretch toward the right side. So still stretching your toes, stretching the side body here. Give yourself 3 more deep breaths here. And slowly center yourself, lean forward and relax the toes. Tap. Now I'm going to lean back. So tuck the toes under and lean the hips back. Interlace your hands and let's lean toward the opposite side. So really making sure you're stretching the side body here. Very nice. Make sure your arms are straight, not bending your elbows. Give yourself one more deep breath here. And slowly centering yourself, lean forward and relax your toes. Tap, tap the toes. Nice. I'm going to tuck the toes again. Have the hips lean back. So my toes are making sure all your toes are doing the squat. Beautiful. And from here, I'm going to interlace the hands and slowly making a circle. Inhale, lifting up, gaze toward the ceiling, and exhale, circle. Two more. Inhale, up, gaze toward the ceiling, and exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Let's relax the toes. So tap, tap, making sure the toes. We don't normally exercise the toes. So let's do it again. So tuck the toes under, making sure all the toes are doing the squat. And let's lean the hips back. Beautiful. And from here, I'm going to interlace the hands and push your arms forward. Beautiful. And slowly, let's tuck the chin under. So rounding of the back. Rounding of the back a little bit more. One more. I'm going to just breathe here. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, and I'm going to lift up. Breathe here. For 3, 2, and 1. And exhale, I'm going to have the hands forward. Tuck your chin under, rounding your back. For 3, 2, and 1. Let's relax. Lean forward. Relax the toes. Tap, tap. Nice. And let's do it one more time. So tuck the toes. So making sure all the toes are tucked in. I'm going to lean the hips back. And from here, I'm going to try to lift up the knees. So if you need to have the hands onto the mat and lifting up the knees. That's lifting up the knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Let's relax the toes. Let's come to a mermaid pose. So we're going to pointing both knees toward the left side. So I'm pointing both knees on toward my left hip. Beautiful. And we're going to bring both hands toward the left hip. Nice. Let's lift up the chin toward the ceiling. 3 more deep breaths here. Feel the space between your chin to your tailbone. Feel that longer neck, longer spine. And slowly going to move the hands forward. Move the hand away from the left knee and relax your elbows. Take 2 deep breaths here. And slowly going to lift up and have the elbows 90 degrees. So my elbows are 90 degrees, supporting myself here. And inhale, lifting up the chin. And exhale, relax the chest down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, relax the chest down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lifting. and exhale, relax it down. Last one. On this side, inhale, lifting. Exhale, relax down. Let's lift up the chest, center ourselves. I'm going to point the knees to the opposite side. So both of my knees are pointing to the right side. I'm going to bring both hands to the right side of my knee. And lifting up the chest, lifting up the chin. Feel that space from the chin toward the ceiling and lengthening the space. One more deep breath here. Feel the lengthening of the entire body. And slowly walk the hands toward outside that right knee and relax your chest. I'm going to take 2 deep breaths here. Even out your breathing. So one more deep breath here. And slowly, let's lift up the chest. I'm going to bend the elbows. Elbows 90 degrees. Nice. Inhale, lift up the chest. And exhale, relax the chest down. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Elbows are straight. And exhale, elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, elbows 90 degrees. And slowly lift up the chest. And let's come to a windshield wiper. So relax your hands behind. And from here, I'm going to step the heels a bit wider. So step the heels really wide. Nice. And let's just only drop the right knee in. Only the right knee dropped in toward that left heel. Beautiful. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Really relax that right hip. And slowly pointing that right knee toward the ceiling. And let's drop the left knee in. So, Nicole and Martin, your left knee needs to be inside a little bit. Yeah, that's right. Good job. Then you can feel it on that left glute. That's right. One more deep breath here. And slowly point both knees toward the ceiling. Let's do it one more time on the right knee. So bring that right knee a little bit closer to that left heel. Take 1 more deep breath here. And let's lift up the right knee and let's drop that left knee in. So you can use your hand to bring that left knee a little bit in toward that right heel. Really feel it on that left hip. 1 more deep breath here. Beautiful. Pointing left knee in, left knee toward the ceiling. Gonna windshield wiper both knees. So both knees are dropped down toward one side. Take 1 deep breath here. And let's switch. Both knees drop down toward the other direction. 1 more deep breath here. Beautiful. Let's lift up both knees. Come to our butterfly. Konasana. So this is our hip flexors pose. So make sure the hip flexors are stretched to soften the hips joints. So try to lean forward. And your back is flat. So make sure, yeah, Nicole and Martin, very good. Janice, very good. So make sure your back is not rounded. So 1 more deep breath here. And slowly lift up the chest. Now I'm going to bring the heels out a little bit. So your legs are in a diamond shape. I'm going to relax the hands onto my shin bone. And let's do a tailbone grinding. So sit bone and tailbone is getting a nice massage here. We're really softening the hip joints here. When you have a spiral action like this, you're softening the entire hips, left and right hip. One more circle on this direction. Now center yourself first. Take a deep breath. And let's circle the opposite direction. Left to right, front, back. Make a nice circle. Massaging the sit bones, tailbones. And 2 more deep breaths here. And slowly centering yourself. Inhale, let's lift up the right side of the arm. Take a deep breath here. And exhale, let's lower down that right hand, rounding the back. So my back is rounded. Release the tension from your spine. Now inhale, left arm lifted, gaze toward the ceiling. And exhale, lower down, rounding of the back. So you're gazing toward the floor. One more deep breath here, rounding the back. Now inhale, right arm lifted. Exhale, gaze toward the floor, rounding the back. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rounding the back. And slowly centering yourself. Beautiful. Take a drink of water if you need to. We're going to go for our core strengthening. I guess lots of people are watching the concert, One World concert. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watch that too. Okay, so let's come to standing. Okay, I want to make sure the camera can see my whole body. Let's come to a standing, warm up with our standing position. Now inhale, let's open up the arm. And exhale, going to round the back, bring the hands toward your knees. And inhale, let's lift up the arms, pointing your palms toward the ceiling. And exhale, hands pointing toward the knees. Inhale, lift. And exhale, rounding the back. Bend the knees. Gonna do 3 more. Inhale, arms open, knees are straight. And exhale, bend the knees, rounding the back. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rounding the back. And from here, going to bend the elbows. The knees are bent. Now inhale, going to open up. Elbows 90 degrees, and exhale, pointing the elbows in, knees bent. Inhale, open. Exhale, pointing in. Going to do 3 more. Inhale, open. And exhale, pointing the elbows in, rounding the back. 2 more. Inhale, open, elbows 90 degrees. And exhale, pointing in, rounding the back. Last one. Inhale, nice and open. Open your chest. And exhale, pointing in. Beautiful. Relax yourself for a second. You can shake your legs if you need to. Make sure the legs are relaxed. The next one, going to have the elbows 90 degrees. and palms facing toward the ceiling. I'm going to bring the right hip toward the right elbow, and let's switch. Left hip toward the left elbow. You're gazing toward the hip. Inhale, right side. Exhale, left side. 2 more rounds. Inhale, right side. Exhale, left side. Inhale. And exhale. Center yourself first. Let's open up the arms. Inhale, kick that right hip to the right. And exhale, kick that left hip toward the left. Inhale, right hip to the right side. Exhale, left hip to the left side. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's center ourselves first. Beautiful. And inhale, going to push the pubic bone forward and exhale, rounding the back. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. And from here, going to kick the right hip to the right side and make a nice circle with your hip. Right side first, forward, left side, and back. Right side, forward, left side, and back. 2 more circles here. You feel like the hip is trying to touch the edges of the wall in your room. Now let's circle the opposite direction here. You feel some freedom around the hips. Because of what's going on, lots of stress can be holding up the tensions stored in your hips. And let's just release those tensions, release those restrictions. Beautiful. Center yourself first. Relax your hands here for a second. If you need to drink water, go ahead. And let's lift up the arms back up again. And this one, make sure your hips are stable. So if you want to use your hands to be on the hips, that's okay. But let's stabilize the hips. Only the shoulders. Only the shoulders. Right toward the right side. And only the shoulders toward the left side. So I'm not moving my hips. Inhale, only the right shoulder toward the right side. And exhale, left shoulder toward the left side. Body isolation. Inhale, right shoulder. And exhale, left shoulder. Not much movement on the hips. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Now we're going to make circle with our shoulders. Right and back and left and forward. Right, back and left and forward. So my hips are not moving, okay? Try to stabilize your hips. Right, back, left, forward. So your chest is doing the box. Right, back, left, forward. Okay, do 1 more circle here with that chest and shoulder. Beautiful. Center yourself. Take a break. Relax your hands. We're going to do 1 more on the other side. So let's lean the chest toward the left side and lean the chest toward the right side. Left, right. Now we're going to make the box. Left side first and move the back, right side and forward. Left, back, right and forward. The chest is doing the circling, not your hips. We want to space out the rib cage. So you are isolating the hips and the chest. 1 more circling here. Beautiful. Relax yourself, center yourself. Take a sip of water if you need to. Beautiful. Now I'm going to stay our standing position. I'm going to spread the legs a bit wider. So your feet are still parallel to each other first. Have the hands onto your hips. I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to lean forward. You're spreading the sit bones. Lean forward and lean forward. And from here, so your chest parallel to the mat. And let's interlace the hands. You can point your index fingers toward the ceiling and slowly point the crown of your head down. Pointing your index fingers toward the ceiling. One more deep breath here. And slowly relax your hands down onto the mat. And from here, I'm going to come to a flow. Left hand lifted and exhale down. Inhale, right hand lifted, exhale down. Inhale, left hand, exhale down. Inhale, right hand, and exhale down. Now I'm going to grab the opposite side of the shin bone. Right hand grabbing onto the left shin bone and lifting up the left arm. Take 2 deep breaths here. Evening out your breathing. Finding your breath. Lengthening your inhalation. Deepening your exhalation. And slowly gonna switch. Left hand grab onto the right side. And let's lift up the right arm toward the ceiling. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Both legs are straight. Make sure the legs are not bent. 1 more deep breath here. And slowly relax both hands down onto the mat. And from here, I'm gonna lean the weight onto the left side first. And slowly switch. The hands are not moving, only the knees. The hips are moving from left to right. One knee bent at one time. Just finding the weight, how your body weight works. 2 more deep breaths here. And let's center our body here. Centering your hips. Gonna use the peace finger to grab onto the big toes. Elbows bend. If you need to bend your knees, that's okay as well. Try to point the crown of your head toward the floor as much as you can. But make sure your back is straight. So 1 more deep breath here. And slowly lift up the chin, lift up the chest. And from here, keep the legs the same. Not moving your legs, only the hands. We're going to move the hands away from the toes and relax the head. Take 3 deep breaths here. Make sure the legs are straight as you can. So 1 more deep breath here. That's very good. Janice is very relaxed. Good job. And slowly gonna walk the hands in and right underneath your nose. Gonna bring the hands out to your hips and slowly lift up your chest. Take it slow. And from here, I'm going to point the heels in. So the legs position, and going to just point the heels in. Beautiful. And going to pause the hips here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift up the hips. Gonna come to our warrior 2 from here. So your left heel pointing toward the right heel. Come to your warrior 2. Nice. Make sure the front knee, the left knee, my left knee is bent 90 degrees. One more deep breath here in your warrior 2. Now let's come to our peace warrior or reverse warrior. Right hand resting onto the right leg. Lifting up the left hand. Gaze toward the left elbow or the ceiling. Feel peaceful in your peace warrior. The left knee has lots of strength on that left knee. One more deep breath here. And slowly let's come back to that warrior 2. Now going to lean forward, left elbow onto that left knee and stretch your right arm 45 degrees. So your right arm is in line with your right leg. Beautiful. One more deep breath here. Nice. And slowly let's come back to that warrior 2. So my left knee is still bent. Beautiful. I'll inhale, gonna straighten out the front knee. Arms lifted. And exhale, let's come back to that warrior 2. Inhale, straighten out. Exhale, come back to that warrior 2. A little bit lower. I'll inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend that left knee a little bit more and then lower down the hips a little bit more. Gonna do last one. Inhale. Exhale, beautiful. Gonna bring the hands onto our hips and point the left toes forward. Gonna switch to that right toes. Right toes pointing out. Come to that right side of the warrior 2. So my right knee is bent 90 degrees. Center your torso. So your upper body is centered. One more deep breath here in your warrior 2. Beautiful warrior 2. Let's come to peace warrior. Left hand can be resting on the left leg. Lifting up the right hand. You can gaze toward your right elbow. Very beautiful peace warrior, everyone. Sherry, your right knee can bend a little bit more. Sherry, yeah, that's good. That's right. So your hips are a little bit lower. Elaine, you can bend a little bit back. Yeah, that's right. Give yourself a little bit more bend on that oblique. Yeah, Elaine, you can bend a little bit more. Yeah, that's right. Good job. One more deep breath here. And slowly, let's come back to that warrior 2. Now I'm gonna lean forward, right elbow onto the front knee, and let's pointing that left arm, 45 degrees. So my left arm and my left leg are in one line, one straight line. Beautiful. I see lots of beautiful straight line there. Good job. One more deep breath here. Jing is perfect. Tracy, beautiful. Janice, very nice. Oh, Cindy is very nice. Good job. Elaine, nice. And slowly, let's come back to that warrior 2. Now inhale, straighten out both legs. And exhale, bend the knee, lower down the hips. Inhale, straighten out. And exhale, lower down the hips a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Bring your hands onto your hips and straighten out and point both toes forward. Beautiful. Now come back to that left toes. So we're going to come back to that warrior two on the left side. Left knee is bent. Now from here, I'm going to point the hands behind the ears. Beautiful. And slowly going to come to a bending on the right oblique. Gaze toward the ceiling. 2 more deep breaths here. Beautiful. Slowly centering your body and point the left toes forward. Relax your hands. And let's point the right toes out. 90 degrees on that right knee. The other side of warrior two. Let's place the hands behind the ears. And slowly bend to stretching out the oblique. The right side oblique being stretched, gaze toward the ceiling. 2 more deep breaths here. So you're pressing down one side oblique, but stretching out the right side of the oblique. And slowly center yourself. Straighten out both legs and relax your hand. Have a sip of water if you need to. And next one, we're going to be on our mat. So have yourself ready here first. Both knees pointing toward the ceiling. Going to have your hands either behind, bend your elbows, micro bend, or just have your elbows straight. So it depends on how you feel with your lower back. If you have lower back pain, I suggest you to bend your elbows. If you don't, you are okay with your lower back, straighten out your elbows. Beautiful. And from here, going to lift up the heels. Heels lifted, legs 90 degrees. Nice. I'm going to point down the right toes and lift up. Pointing down the right toes and lift up. 3 more. Right toes down, lift. Right toes down and lift. Last one. Right toes down and lift. Let's point the left toes down and lift. Left toes down and lift. 3 more. Left toes down, lift. Left toes down, lift. Last one. Left toes down, lift. And from here, let's straighten out the legs and bend the knees. Inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale. Exhale. 5 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, straighten out. And exhale, bend the knee 90 degrees. Inhale. And exhale. Relax the heels down first. Take a deep breath. Even out your breathing. And let's lean back. So my back is like 45 degrees to the mat. And let's lift up the right leg first. Right leg is straight, 45 degrees. And now I'm going to bend the left knee. Left knee 90 degrees. Take 2 deep breaths here. Feel it at your core. 1 more deep breath. And let's switch. left leg bent, left leg is straight, right knee is bent, right toes is lifted toward the ceiling. One more deep breath here. Feel at the core, burning some of the fat at the stomach. And slowly, let's lean forward. Even out the breathing. Beautiful. Gonna lean back. Beautiful. Now from here, I'm going to have the knees. Knees are pointing out. Heels are pointing in. Nice. And from here, if you have lower back pain, you can still support yourself. If you don't have lower back pain, I'm going to bring the hands behind your ears and lift up your heel. Breathe here for 3, 2. Make sure your back is 45 degrees if you can. If you cannot, still use your hand to support. So your back is 45 degrees to the mat. One more deep breath here. If you can bring your hands behind your ears. And slowly relax. So come to a nice sitting position with your back 90 degrees to the mat. Nice. I'm going to lean back again. 45 degrees. You can use your hands to support. Elbows can bend. I'm going to bring the knees out again. Knees are out. Heels are in. Beautiful. And from here, I'm going to inhale, straighten out the legs. And exhale, bring the heels back in. Inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, bring the heels back in. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your heels down. Just give yourself a break. If you need to drink water, by all means. 1 more deep breath. Take a break here. Okay, go for our last core strengthening. Gonna lean yourself back. Nice. And from here, knees pointing out, heels are in. Nice. Gonna do one leg straight and bring it back. Inhale, the other leg is straight and bring it back. One leg straight, bring it back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 1 more round. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Beautiful. And slowly sitting up, lower down your legs. I'm going to point the hands forward about 45 degrees and slowly lift up your arms and give yourself a back bend. 1 deep breath here. 45 degrees with your back. And slowly gonna lean forward 45 degrees. And relax yourself all the way down. Even out your breathing here. Feel your breathing. Finding your breath. Finding the harmony. Unionize the mind and the body. And slowly lift up yourself. And from here, gonna come to lie down on the stomach. Gonna work on our shoulders here. I'll make sure you can see my camera here. So from here, we're going to work on our shoulders. I'll bend the elbows first, 90 degrees, and lift up the chest. So my chin is pointing down toward the mat. I'll inhale, pointing your hands forward. Exhale, bend the elbows 90 degrees. Inhale, lift up, pointing forward. Exhale, 90 degrees with your elbows. 5 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Relax yourself down for a second. Take a deep breath. Next one, going to lift up the chest, elbows 90 degrees, and going to bend the left elbow toward the left hip. And exhale, right elbow toward the right hip. Inhale, left side. Exhale, right side. Inhale, left side. Exhale, right side. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the elbows 90 degrees. You're only pointing the elbows toward the one side at a time. One more round. And slowly centering yourself. Take a break. And from here, I'm going to come to a Superman. So have the legs pointing out. My legs are wide apart. And come to have arms wide apart. Let's lift up the chest. And lift up the legs. Lift up the arms a little bit higher. Legs a little bit higher. Breathe here. Hold your pose and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to pause the arms and the legs. Lift them and lower. Lift them and lower. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze into the shoulder blades. And last one. Lift and lower. And rest yourself here. Let's rest in a Sphinx. So this is our Sphinx pose. Just like that Egyptian statue. Even now you're breathing. This is a very good resting pose. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your hips are relaxed. It's more gratitude toward every breath we take. No matter what's going on, at least you have the air in your lung. At least you're alive. And slowly going to lower down the chest. Going to bend the right knee first and use the right hand to grab onto the right foot. And slowly bring the left foot to grab onto the right foot. And lift up the chest. Let's lift up the right knee. Feel at that right quad. One more deep breath here. One leg at a time. And slowly lower down. Take a deep breath. Let's switch. Left knee is bent. And both hands go onto the left foot. Lift up the chest. Bring that left heel to kick that left buttock. One more deep breath here. And slowly release. Take a deep breath. Going to go for one more of that round. Bend the right knee. Use the right hand, grab onto the right foot first. And now both hands onto the same foot. Lift up the chest a little bit higher. Right knee a little bit higher. One more deep breath here. And slowly lower down. Take a deep breath. Left side. Left knee is bent. Both hands onto the left knee. And lift up the chest. Left knee is lifted. Chest lifted a little bit higher. One more deep breath here. Feel it on the top part of your left leg. And relax down. Let's lift up both arms above our head, pointing your toes together. Take a deep breath here first. Now only the left arm and right leg. So the opposite arm, opposite leg. Lift it. Let's pause them for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a deep breath. Even out your breathing. Your focus is on your breath. The opposite side now, right arm and left leg. Let's pause them here for 10, 9, 8, a little bit higher for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax yourself. You feel a little bit lengthened already. Feel your entire body is slimmer and lengthened. One more deep breath here. Now let's lift up the chest, both arms lifted and both legs lifted. Pause them both here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a deep breath here. Now from here, I'm going to bring the hands underneath of your chin and point the knees out and the heels are in. That's right. Heels are in, toes are together. Rest the chin. Now let's lift up the chest, lift up the knees. Let's pause the knees here for 10. Only the knees pausing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, little bit higher for 2, and 1. Relax yourself. Take a deep breath. Now come to interlace your hands underneath of your nose and tuck the toes. Beautiful. Let's lift up the hips. Come to our dolphin plank. Take 2 deep breaths here. And now from here, going to lift up the left leg and pointing it down. Lifting up the right leg and relax. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, lower down your hips for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down your knees. And let's come to push ourselves to a child pose. Even out your breathing here. Your breath is that life force, which we call prana. Breath in, breath out. Day in and day out. Season in, season out. Life goes on. As long as a prana, that life force, is within you. One more deep breath here. Lots of gratitude toward that divine intelligence. And slowly lift up the chest. We're going to do a final toe squat. So we're going to tuck the toes under. Beautiful. And bring the hips onto your heels. And bring your hands heart center here. Beautiful. Just take 2 deep breaths here. Feel that toes being stretched out. Our toes are connected with lots of nerve system. One more deep breath here. Beautiful. Now inhale, gonna lift up the hips and exhale, lower down the hips and give yourself a back bend. Inhale, lifting up the hips and exhale, lower down the hips and back bend. 2 more. Inhale and exhale, back bend. Inhale, exhale, back bend. And slowly let's relax. Massaging the toes, tap, tap. And lower down. Let's come to a final resting pose. Come to a comfortable seated position. Going to have the right hand onto the left knee and left hand behind your tailbone. Come to a twist. Finding your breath. Noticing how you're breathing, nourishing your lung, nourishing your brain, nourishing your whole body. And slowly centering yourself first. Take a deep breath. Let's twist the other side. Left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind your tailbone, and twist. Two more deep breaths here. And slowly centering yourself. Gonna come to a final chant of Om to seal our practice today. Inhale, deep breath in. Om. Bow to yourself. From my light to your light, I bow to the intelligence which is divine inside of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Good job. Let me unmute everyone.